Does planning the referendum on voting reform for the same day as the Holyrood elections fit in with David Cameron's pledge to respect the devolved government?
There had a number of questions about this, about whether this vote on the alternative, the voting mechanism, AV, should take place at the same time as the Scottish and Welsh elections and local elections in England, and whether people, I can't quite get the hang of it, but Nicola Sturgeon will explain why it is that voters can't grasp that they're voting for two different things on the same day.
Well, I'll answer the question. In answer to the question, I don't think it is a sign of a respect agenda. I think it's a sign of a disrespect agenda that this decision was taken, and even more fundamentally, it was taken with no consultation at all, not just with the Scottish Government, but with the Welsh or Northern Irish governments as well.
What kind of consultation do you need to have a vote on that?
Well, you asked me to explain the background to this. I'm going to...
Not too long, but...
People here will remember in 2007 there was a bit of a controversy about all of the spoiled ballot papers in the Scottish elections. There was an independent review of that, and one of the recommendations was that there shouldn't be two electoral contests on the same day. So the Scottish Parliament passed legislation last year to move the local government elections so that there wouldn't be that conflict. So that's the background, and I do think there should have been some consultation before this decision was taken, and I think it's fundamentally
Michael Moore
wrong.
has written to you and said you can change the date. You can change the date of the Holyrood elections.
I don't think we should. The date of the Holyrood elections, however tempting that may be for politicians, you know, the date of the Holyrood elections is set. We have fixed four-year parliaments. I think if there's going to be any change, then I think the UK government should set the date for its referendum, which incidentally seems to be a referendum in a voting system that nobody seems to support. They should set that date so that it doesn't clash with the elections.
Well, it's not a voting system the Liberal Democrats wanted, is it, Michael Moore? But you're still going for it, and now you seem to have upset the SNP as well.
No, well, I hope not to upset Nicola unduly.
Just upset her a bit, you mean?
Well, you made some very important points, which I, if I may, will repeat. I think it's insulting to voters in Scotland to suggest that people cannot cope with the idea of choosing in a referendum whether or not they support the change in an electoral system for elections to the United Kingdom Parliament. It will be the same, you know, it's a simple question. It will be yes or no. There'll be a cross put in one or other of the ballots, and to suggest that we cannot cope with that in Scotland is really very worrying, very insulting indeed. The important point here is that we've got to get out, the lady earlier on pointed out about the discrediting of politicians. I would like to move to an electoral system called the single transferable vote, which is proportional, gets a really
what they have in Scotland for
the local elections.
Yes.
But what I'm just absolutely committed to is ensuring that we improve on the inherent unfairness and lack of legitimacy that can come out of elections here for the House of Commons. Too many members of Parliament have got less than 40% of the vote when they turn up in Westminster.
Fair, you have to be fair not just to politicians but to the panellists, because we've only got a few moments left. Michael Forsyth, what do you feel about this voting reform business? Are you in favour of it and having it on the same day, and does it matter?
If I may coin a phrase, I agree with Nick.
Which Nick would this be?
Nick Clegg,
yes.
Before the election, described the alternative vote as a miserable compromise. And I also agree with several leading Liberals who have rubbished the alternative vote. I think first past the post is a better system.
So you'll be arguing